Are we still gonna do like that little weird where we just ramble for a couple of minutes before we start, or?
I want us to stay as on brand as possible, and that seems to be our brand. For better or for worse. Is it?
Is it?
Fun facts is our brand. You're welcome.
I would have never. Huh. I guess that is a thing that we do a lot. I always just go off on random tangents. So, yeah.
See, I like to try and make a joke in the beginning so I can get your laugh, and then I can use that laugh as like the cue for the intro. And there's only been one time where I may have taken your laugh and moved it to a different spot so it would work.
Thank you for your honesty, because I probably was. That's where you put the music right now.
It's like a little intro thing. I love when podcasts have like a fun, like
yeah.
Before the episode.
They kind of know like where it's gonna like, oh, this is where it's gonna like put in the music, and yeah, you kind of have like a little pattern to it, but it's not always like the exact same kind of thing.
Yeah, so that works.
Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Hello. We are recording in the same room for the first time since 10 episodes ago. How's that feel?
That's at least 10, 15, 20 weeks? 15 weeks?
How many months is that? When was the last
4 months? It's going to be at least 3 or 4 months. Right. It's crazy. And it's weird that we're still doing video. It's
because we're like, this is a good idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, why not? I guess.
I mean, to be fair, people like my sister, where she has a hard time listening to just audio, so she's a visual thing too. She can like watch these and listen to the podcast.
Okay.
And that's more like a attention thing, which
makes sense. Yeah.
So plus people can see our fun faces and
reactions. We have faces.
We have faces and reactions.
We react. We'll see.
It'll be fun.
This is our podcast show.
Hello, this is Tipsy Mysteries. We are your hosts. I am Kate.
And I'm V.
And we're here to tell you about some fun, spooky stories.
Yeah.
Anything from paranormal, true crime, conspiracy, cryptid.
Everything and everything that other people normally would be like, should we talk about this in the workplace? Is this really a thing that you want to... Why are you interested in this? We're here. We're you ghouls. To help you talk about those weird things that no one else wants to talk about.
Like you just want to sit with friends and talk about some Mothman butt?
Yeah.
We're here.
We're here for that.
We're here and queer. What's up? Oosh.
Mothman butt.
Mothman booty.
Mothman booty.
Nice.
I just want to smack that booty one day.
Make me a little full.
Guys,
we're trying to high five it.
I'm trying not to. I'm kidding. I'll give you this
hello, I've never felt more betrayed in my entire life. Thank you.
I'm here for you.
Guys.
Sorry.
High five me,
Finally. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been so long since we recorded together. I'm just like, this is different. Everything's different ever since the corona, the pandemic has happened. So
everything. So yeah, for people not watching, I understand, but also it's pretty fun to watch. Just saying. Even if you're just like wanting to like draw or like do whatever, just like throw a song on the background, just have a good time.
That's what I do. I'll put it on in the background and then I'll play video games, and then while I'm waiting for my game to load, I'll be on my phone looking at something else. And then I'll also have my iPad open to another like little phone game.
It's the ADHD.
It's the ADHD.
Waiting.
ASMR.
No longer ASQR. Well, technically clear. No quarantine. Everyone still be safe. Well, my friend, how was your week?
Well, how was my week? It's been long. I don't remember when it started. I didn't even realize it ended.
I understand. Friday hit, and I was like, wait.
I feel that. What are you drinking today?
I forgot my sister gave me a little baby can of Arizona green tea like a few months ago. And I was like, what can I mix with vodka? And there it was.
That sounds good.
I'm a simple boy.
Aren't we all?
That's probably fine.
Yeah. And I made myself another tequila sunrise that has too much grenadine, so it's very red.
It looks so pretty though.
Thank you. I already had a shot of tequila, so I'm like, I'm not going to put as much tequila in this one, so.
Okay, not bad. We're good.
I could do more tequila.
Satisfactory. There it is.
There it is.
Jesus, that was hidden.
Every time I make any drinks in these cups, they're always just like punch you in the face afterwards. So I always have to like chug the second half. Ooh.
There we go.
Cool. Technical difficulties. So.
Well, my dear friend, can I tell you a story?
Yeah. Tell me a story. What kind of story? Is it a paranormal?
It is indeed a paranormal story because while I've been like in the mysteries, I realize everyone else is probably like paranormal, which I understand. I get that. So today I have a haunted place for you.
Ooh.
It is actually another really famous one. It's what I've been meaning to do for a while, but I just kept forgetting. It is in Kentucky. It is America's most haunted nightclub.
Oh.
I think you'll recognize the name.
But nothing is coming to mind. I'm just saying like a...
It's really haunted.
What is it?
Today, my dear friend, my dear listeners, I'm going to tell you all about Bobby Mackey's music world.
Ooh. I'm going to move my mic and stuff so like it's easier to see my expression instead of me hiding all the time. But like, tell me more. Tell me all about this.
Are you ready for this? I figure out how to like...
This is so weird because we sit across from each other, and now we're sitting next to each other, and I'm like,
How do I hide my notes?
I'm lucky I'm second, and I don't care about my notes. It's a Wikipedia page.
There we go. Hold on. Maybe I should have actually gone to the app first. That's a good idea.
We're prepared. We're professionals. This is our 27th episode.
Jesus.
We know what we're doing, apparently. And you guys like us. Thank you.
We love all of you.
Yeah.
So it is a very haunted.
Yeah.
It's got wacky history.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Bobby Mackey's Music World is a popular honky-tonk establishment in the little town of Wilder, Kentucky. It is also known as the most haunted nightclub in America, as I said, but I'm just going to emphasize it. So as always, I'm going to give it history.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because
That's who you are.
that's who I am.
Isn't that like a type A person?
Jesus Christ.
It's very like have to have things in a certain way.
In my defense, that's how you know all the ghosts are there.
That's true. That's true. I love it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying
I get you.
we are two very different people.
Together we have one whole podcast.
Together we're one whole podcast.
Together we are one brain cell.
One brain cell. One sweaty armpit. Yeah.
Nice.
We're gay and sweaty and proud.
Gay and sweaty arm spaghetti. All right. So I don't knock my pop filter into the mic. That'd be cool. So you ready?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go all the way back to the 1850s. A building is built, and it was originally a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the basement of the building, there was a well that led out to a nearby river, so that any blood or anything else could be
into the river.
Yeah.
Into the main water.
Listen, the 1850s were really concerned about this, about environmental pollution.
There's nothing wrong with us at all in the 1850s.
Chilling.
Nothing's gonna happen.
So just remember this well. It's there. Yeah.
This is reminding me of the Leslie.
Oh, Leslie's Family Tree.
Yeah, Leslie's Family Treehouse restaurant with the little thing where the water.
Oh, in the back.
Yeah, the back of the restaurant, like that little water
ditch that a lot of people drowned in.
A lot of people drowned in. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just more haunted. I'll get your take at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that well.
That well.
So it is still at the center of the basement at this place.
Right now.
Yes. And it's actually the only original feature of the building that was once there. That is
Still
at Bobby Mackey's.
After they've been renovated for so many times.
Oh yeah. It's also thought to be a real portal to hell.
I wonder why.
You'll find out. It's not great. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
So after 40 years of slaying animals, the slaughterhouse was closed. And in the 1890s, it just some local cults and devil worshippers were like, hey, this is our new hangout. I like it here. I feel welcome.
This is cozy.
This is cozy.
This is the place. To quote some people.
So
If you're Mormon or from Utah, you'd know.
you know what's up.
You know. I would never bash Mormonism, I promise.
Check out episode 2 of Tipsy Mysteries.
Check out episode 2 of Tipsy Mysteries. I say that, but every time I drink, I'm like,
You guys like this, right? Yeah. Cool.
You're not Mormon, right? No, I'm kidding. You can be Mormon and we'll still bash it, but like, we don't mean anything to you. Just
There we go.
the things.
You know.
I need to stop talking. I already had a shot of tequila beforehand. I don't need to keep.
So cult and devil worshippers.
Cult and devil
They're like,
worshippers.
hey, holy shit. This is a pretty chill place. There's already a well here.
Perfect centerpiece to do everything that you need for your cult and devil worshipping needs.
And what does this include?
Sacrifice. Ooh, that's a perfect place to sacrifice things too. No one's gonna find it. No.
So,
Dear FBI agents listening to me, I'm kidding.
we're joking. This is all a joke.
This
Our
is all a
podcast is
joke. This is all a joke. I would never. I've never seen a well in my life. I'm kidding. I have seen a well. I've never put anything or anyone in a well.
I trust you, buddy.
Thank you. I feel like I'm just putting myself down into a hole every time I talk to the FBI agents listening in.
I hope they're having a good time.
I hope so too.
Fuck. If you hear things bonking, it's because we're getting used to surroundings.
Yeah, it's a new setup. We're trying something different and new.
We're here.
Yeah.
So
we're queer.
They were like, hey, this is cool. They began to, sacrifice animals.
Oof.
And then the blood would drain down the well. However, it is highly likely and often agreed by most historians of the area that these cults were sacrificing humans as well. And this part's kind of rough. According to many sources, they would either take low-income or disabled children, as they would not be as likely to be reported missing.
Oh no.
And their minds are like, we're going to send you back to the devil because this is the 1890s and we're terrible. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Don't care about people or the environment.
Nope.
That's so sad.
So this is off to a great start. Just
I'm gonna go in there and salt everything.
let's do that.
Yeah.
We're coming from Bob Mackey's.
Yeah. Kentucky. What's in Kentucky? Fried chicken?
Let's get some chicken. Are you ready for history to get worse?
Yeah.
So moving a bit forward, we have a gal named Pearl Bryan. So she was a 22-year-old local girl who came from a large, respectable family. She was well educated, beautiful, and just well liked all around.
Like someone I know.
Is it me?
Yeah.
It's also you.
Nope. Not at all.
He's lying.
Nope.
I'm telling the truth. Nope. So Pearl Bryan's just chill gal. Unfortunately, at the time, she was dating a man named Scott Jackson, who was a dental student What Pearl did not know, however, is that Scott was also a sadist, devil worshiper, and a member of the cult.
Oof.
What could go wrong?
That's like the thing is like Satanism, like nowadays, from what I've seen, super chill, super about like being pro-choice and pro-believing in yourself kind of thing.
Women's rights.
Yeah. Like they even made it a thing where like they put it as part of their religion that you can get abortions and stuff. So now it can't be like it's getting in the way of someone else's religion now if you try to take away their rights of abortions. I don't know how accurate that is because I just saw that very recently and I haven't looked into it. But
did you see my notes?
No.
Guys, this happens every time. It's always spooky.
Kind of like how I keep manifesting things when I'm like, dude, I just need someone to reply to me and talk to me that I'm talking to. And then they're like, I didn't even see you talk about this. And I just was like, had this feel where I had to look at your thing. And I'm like,
guys, this happened earlier and it was spooky.
It happened twice. Today and yesterday.
Damn.
And I'm like, I don't have things. I don't have things.
I understand. So, as per your manifesting/premonitions, a little bit into their relationship, Pearl actually found herself pregnant by Scott.
Oof.
And when she confided in him, he persuaded Pearl into having an abortion. Again, this is the 1890s.
Oof, that's going to be rough.
That's going to be rough. So, according to legend, Scott wanted to take the fetus out while it was still alive so that he could use it as a sacrifice. That's like worth 500 sacrifice points apparently.
Understandable.
So,
kind of like that John Mulaney joke where he's talking about the New York Post, saying like how the less time the tot lives, the more, what was it? The more loved or more something it is as an angel or something. Or I can't remember that joke anymore. Oof. I'm gonna have to look up that New York Post.
I'll have to look it up later.
I won't do it now. After we record, I'll look it up.
Okay, deal.
We'll just have to cut this out maybe. Or someone else might get the reference. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll find out. This is a problem for future Kate.
Yeah.
She hates me. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
She's getting through.
I'm sure that people will get the reference. I'm sure that people will be like, I know she was trying to go with that, and that's all that matters. They were just doing their best.
Guys accept us for effort, right?
Yeah! I have the worst attention span and memory, so.
No, I don't.
We don't have
We don't. So that's all going down. So Scott had planned for himself and his roommate Alonzo, who was also a dental student, to carry out the abortion in secret. And at 5 months pregnant, Pearl went to them. Because they're like, hey, you know what? We know all about mouths. Vaginas can't be that much different.
This isn't teeth.
Unless you're talking about teeth. What's that movie?
Teeth.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. I said this isn't teeth. Yeah.
So
dental. No, they can't. No.
So they just met up with her. They're like, hey, we have our dental tools. So Scott started the procedure by giving Pearl about 14 grams of cocaine in an attempt to sedate her, because again, this is the 1890s.
Cocaine.
Yeah. That was common at the time.
I don't feel like that would be a good...
Heroin is more common. Whoops.
Yeah, I would have thought the heroin would be more common as a sedation method.
I think it froze.
It froze. I don't know what's happening.
Hello?
Hello?
What if I stop and then maybe...
It's still going. It's still counting. This is the perfect time to look up that John Mulaney
There
joke.
we go. I need some elevator music to be playing.
Oof! My tequila sunrise.
There we go. Okay, so... Here we go. Okay, we're recording again.
We are recording.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. This is fine.
This is fine. So, yep, he's like, hey, here's 14 grams of cocaine. Let me sedate you. Unsurprisingly, she remained awake and somewhat aware.
I'm not surprised.
What could go wrong?
So much. So much can go wrong.
Just you wait. So, Scott then moved on and using his very limited dental skills, along with his dental tools, tried to take out the unborn baby surgically. However, this did not work.
I wonder why.
So Pearl was now in harrowing pain and gushing with blood. And so she struggled. And it was during the struggle that Scott killed the baby, apparently, according to legend. And in a panic about having the botched abortion, again, because it's 1890s, the men were like, hey, we need to get rid of all the evidence. So Scott and Alonzo, they just, brutally murdered Pearl.
What?
With blunt and dirty dental tools. And while Pearl was still very much alive and aware, they severed her head from her body.
No.
And the doctor who later examined her body confirmed that Pearl was alive when this brutal act was carried out, due to the blood flow and loss that had occurred. So, the headless body of Pearl was found about 2 miles away from the abandoned slaughterhouse. And, okay, this is weird. She was actually only able to be identified by her shoes. Since it was a really small town at that time, they were able to trace the serial number on her, like the bottom of her boot, which led to them being like, oh, hey, it comes from the shop. And the shop's like, oh, I know that boot. It went to Pearl Bryant.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, this is Pearl.
That reminds me of, like, what was it? The
Boy in the Box?
No, the Night Walker.
Oh, Night Stalker.
Night Stalker.
Yeah.
How do I always forget his name. Richard Ramirez.
There we go.
They were like, we can find out whose shoes these are because only like so many people bought those shoes and he paid with cash. So they weren't able to find out who he was with his shoes only.
He's so frustrating.
And then he had to throw those shoes away afterwards.
Check out episode 7.
I'm surprised you know these by the numbers. I'm like, I know we've done that episode before. I just can't remember.
Enough hours go into editing that I think it just becomes cemented.
God,
also, that one's funny, so that's why I remember it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things happening in that episode.
There is. Check it out, guys.
Yeah.
So, they identify her body, and Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling were soon arrested and tried for Pearl's murder. During the trial, it emerged that they had planned on chopping Pearl's body up into smaller pieces and then hiding her body parts in the sewer, but they decided to stop at her head and leave her body to rot, because, as you can imagine, cutting up a body is a lot of work.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. Not that I would know. I have never done that.
Hello, FBI.
I'm not kidding about not doing that, okay? I have never done it.
I believe you.
Thank goodness.
This is weird. So, locks of Pearl's pretty blonde hair were found hidden in a jar in the bedroom of Scott Jackson. But her head was nowhere to be found.
No!
And it still remains undiscovered to this day.
Why?
It is commonly thought that after the murder, the men went down to the slaughterhouse and Scott sacrificed Pearl's head by throwing it down the well.
Oh my gosh.
And
has anyone gone down that well and grabbed everything that was in there?
They did look at the time, but they
couldn't find anything.
They couldn't find anything. And so both Scott and Alonzo were found guilty of Pearl's murder, and they were even offered a lifeline. Instead of being executed, they would serve the rest of their life in prison if they told him where her head was. Neither of the men would talk or reveal what had happened to her head, and so they were sent to the gallows on March 21st, 1897.
That's crazy.
And they were like, we're gonna curse the land. The usual.
The usual. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Fun fact, they were actually the last people to be hanged in Campbell County.
Huh.
So, interesting.
All comes back together.
All comes back. It's full circle. So, Pearl was 5 months pregnant. Just remember that. So, moving on. The slaughterhouse remained empty and the building was torn down a few years later. But the basement, since it was underground, it remained. And by the 1930s... And the well. It's still there. It's fine. Everything's fine. So by the 1930s, a new building was built on the property, and it soon became an illegal gambling and drinking establishment named the Primrose.
Sounds about right.
Right. I was like, chill name. Like it.
Yeah.
So from the beginning, the mob was involved in the business, and there were many rumors of murders that took place there because,
those things happen sometimes.
And since there's no bodies ever found, it is thought that the dead were dumped down the well in the basement.
It's a very convenient well.
It is.
If you're doing a lot of illegal things in a basement and you have a well there, but like no one's going to find it because it's in our basement.
It's in the basement. And like I guess some people are technically like, it's not a well because it leads out to the river, but it's cement and long. And well sounds pretty cool. So we're just going to say well.
It's kind of like that hole in Silence of the Lamb. That Buffalo Bill has all of his...
Puts lotion on the skin or gets the hose again. So, moving forward. By the 1950s, the bar had changed owners and was renamed the Latin Quarter. Now a nightclub to all and a hush gambling establishment for the invited few, the word of the illegal gambling club got out to the local authorities, and soon the police showed up and shut the place down.
Yeah.
But that wasn't before yet another murder and a double suicide took place in the old slaughterhouse. Are you ready? So,
okay, tell me.
Our next player is a woman named Johanna. So she was a cabaret dancer at the club, and she's actually one of the daughters of the club's owners, which, side note, I've seen some people try and, say, oh, she wouldn't be a dancer if she was, one of the club members' daughters, but she was a cabaret dancer, which was, think of, can stuff.
Yeah.
So that would make sense to me. Anyway, she's working there.
Yeah.
So she actually ended up getting pregnant from a singer named Robert Randall that worked at the club as well.
Yeah.
And so Johanna, she was in love. She was all about it. She's like, yes, here I am. But her father was having none of it.
Sounds about right.
Saying that she was too young and foolish and that things needed to be taken care of.
Oof.
What could go wrong?
It's like Romeo and Juliet.
Oof. Buddy. So Johanna's father, he knew people, and he had connections to the mob, and he soon paid to have Robert Randall murdered.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. So Robert Randall is murdered. Heartbroken and full of rage, young Johanna wanted revenge. So she attempted to poison her father, and he actually ended up later surviving. And then she wrote a love poem for Robert on a wall in the upstairs room. Just I can't remember what it said. But it was very dramatic. I was like, okay. And then...
This all sounds very dramatic, like they were 14-year-olds.
The drama. So she wrote that little poem upstairs. And then she went down to the basement of the building. And because this is where the dressing rooms were at the time. And that's where she poisoned herself and her unborn child. Her dead body was discovered down on the basement floor within close proximity to the well. She was 5 months pregnant.
Interesting.
What could go wrong?
It's not like there's going to be a pattern or anything.
Tee-hee-hee-hee. So, that happens. And then after the closure of the Latin Quarter, it was soon to be taken over and become the Hard Rock Cafe. No relation to the chain. A separate thing. For whatever reason.
Okay, it's just a popular name.
Popular name, I guess. In the 70s, it was just we're the Hard Rock Cafe, but not the one that's trademarked. Thank you. Only 8 years later, it was shut down due to more bloody murders that happened under the shelter of the slaughterhouse as well.
Interesting.
So that's kind of weird. And then in 1978, same year that Prince released his first album, For You. Anyway. In 1978, the country singer Bobby Mackey and his wife Janet bought the deserted building, and Bobby Mackey's music world was born.
Beautiful.
And it is still to this day Bobby Mackey's is a well-established and thriving nightclub and honky-tonk. So that's the history. Are you ready for some hauntings?
Yes.
Okay.
My nose ring is trying to come out, and I'm trying to stop it. But yes. I'm glad that this pop filter is, like, hiding me, just trying to... I'm not picking my nose, but...
That's how I hide my yawns. Whoa. It's like, yep. Down here. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so some hauntings. Are you ready?
I'm gonna move. Ow. Ow.
You okay there, buddy?
I rolled my foot.
Oh, no!
I need to get more comfortable.
We go through a lot of pain for you guys, so...
It's a lot of pain.
You're
I'm going to sit on
welcome.
it. I'm going to sit on this pain.
Why?
Because I'm just sitting on my foot and it feels... it's like a hurt so good kind of feel. Tell me about the hauntings. Tell me.
So here's some hauntings. Almost as soon as Mackey moved in, there was intense, unexplained phenomena. So workmen and contractors renovating the establishment reported all manner of paranormal activity, such as moving objects, strange noises, and in sinister cases, being pushed, slapped, punched, and scratched by unseen hands.
Ooh.
To the point that most of them refused to come back to work.
Yeah. Understandable.
If I'm getting scratched or pinched by a ghost, I'm like, nope.
I'm not getting paid enough for this. This isn't in my pay grade.
Not in my pay grade. Nope. So, one of the most well-known incidents revolves around the 20-year-old Carl Lawson, who was 20 at the time. So he started to work there cleaning and painting, just helping renovate it, and then later moving into the attic of the building and becoming a permanent caretaker there. So I think he just like felt a connection to the place and it's like, gonna take care of it, here I am.
Yeah.
So Carl would later say that the activity became dangerous and even more present when he accidentally uncovered the well in the basement.
Oh no!
So he had been doing some work down in the basement and he saw an odd patch of dirt, and so he uncovered it, and that's when he discovered the well. It's fine.
Oof.
But it's not, because
now everything is worse.
Oh yeah, no, he said that like the second he opened it, that an evil entity had been freed and that it soon possessed him.
Oh my gosh.
And this is what convinced him that it was the portal to hell.
Yeah.
Which,
understandable.
given all of its history, I don't blame it.
Yes.
So.
Very valid.
So it was soon after this incident that both Carl and the building were given an exorcism. So I'm imagining like joint custody, but joint exorcism. Anyway. Twinsies. Which would...
Just holding hands.
Just
doing
holding
hands.
hands. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a botched exorcism.
Like the abortion. Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
There is no lie. That was very good. Thank you for that.
The thing.
So exorcism was botched, and it ended up actually making things worse.
I can't reach it.
Oh, gosh. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
So exorcism was botched, and
Things got worse.
things got worse.
Things just got worse. Let's see. So, weirdly enough, according to him, it did, however, give Carl the ability to talk to spirits.
Huh.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But apparently, so I guess people that were at the bar a lot and like saw him, or locals, they would often see him and see him just talking to himself, and they're like, that's kind of weird. And he was just kind of known as
It's a little different now.
a weirder guy, and that was just kind of accepted.
Oh, it's just accepted.
Just
Like
accepted.
Carl just started talking to himself. It's fine. It's fine.
It's chill. Don't worry about it. And he later revealed that he was not talking to himself,
Of course not.
but he was in fact talking to the spirits of Pearl, Johanna, and some of the victims murdered by mobsters.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just chilling with them. I'm like, all right, go for it.
Giving them someone to talk to and get
Yeah,
all of that anger out.
they going through it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
My buddy. Unfortunately, though, over the years, Carl reported that he was the victim of physical attacks by unforeseen apparitions that would often have marks and... I wrote my notes weird. He would get attacked by things he couldn't see and then end up with scratches and marks. Scratches and marks on his body. Ugh. There we go.
Things that shouldn't have appeared out of nowhere, but did.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah,
You get it.
I get it.
And he claimed that his body was taken over by something evil on more than one occasion. But the worst of it came after he decided to sprinkle holy water down the well. It did not work.
That was not enough holy water then. Just a little splash.
A little dip.
A little pinch of holy water.
A pinch. Just a treat.
As a treat.
The demons did not like this treat, apparently.
Mm-mm.
So this seemed to, like, royally piss off whatever was down there.
Yeah.
And after doing this, Carl began to regularly see dark and angry-looking shadows that would stare him down from across the bar. So he'd just be in there working, and then he'd see something across from him, just, like, staring him the fuck down. It's like, maybe that sprinkle of holy water was not a good idea.
I would have thought not to do that.
Who would have thought?
I would have done, like, a salt ring around the well.
See, that seems like a better idea.
Something to, like, contain it and,
Because I don't think you can exercise it at this point, personally.
I feel like you need a lot more power to exercise that much in there.
Maybe not a priest that's gonna botch it.
Mm.
I didn't know botch exorcisms could happen, apparently.
I'm not surprised, because you're trying to call out that thing to get it out of the place.
That's true.
And you're just calling for it and not getting it all out of that place. Or the entity of where it is.
So you're just riling up and just chilling.
You're just bringing it out from where it is and just not completing the job. And
Yeah.
You're just pretty much just opening a door or opening it wider.
Guys, don't get a botched exorcism.
Don't do
Don't
anything
do it.
botched.
Don't do it. Don't do anything botched. Don't half-ass anything. Whole-ass everything.
Whole ass everything.
Whole-ass your exorcisms. Thank you.
And abortions.
And abortions.
Anyways.
Along with Carl, many patrons and employees at the bar began to have their own strange paranormal occurrences.
Not surprised.
Right? What could happen?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knew? Who would have thought? So there were many that reported seeing objects move, having electronics or lights turn on and off by themselves. You know, standard stuff.
The usual.
Catching glimpses of shadowy apparitions, and then, you know, often being overcome with a thick, overpowering sense of dread and malice that would descend upon them. Typical.
The usual. It's just a Thursday. It's fine.
Been there, done that. Tuesday again? No problem. Missed that meme. Anyway.
It's a good meme.
So there are many who have seen the headless apparition of Pearl.
Oof.
She'll either appear directly in front of you, while others have seen her out of the corner of their eye. In both cases, she exudes a profound sense of melancholy. Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, girl.
She went through a lot.
I want to leave you some candy or something. I don't know if you like candy, but...
Right.
Oh, can I leave her some flowers or something?
Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, let's leave her flowers and Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
I like this plan. So on one investigation, a psychic was down in the basement when she saw the spirit of Scott Jackson yelling at a headless Pearl Bryan, saying that it was all her fault. And then during that same visit, the psychic also saw the spirit of Pearl, who was distressed and holding her head in her hands, crying, "My head, my head." So that would be fun to see. Chillin'.
That would not be fun to see.
I'm mad that Scott Jackson's still there.
I'm always mad at him.
Yeah. Like, you don't get to go down there and, like, yell at her, tell her everything's her fault. Like, fuck you, buddy. If anything, this is all your fault.
It's all his fault.
From beginning to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, down in the basement is said to be a spirit of a young girl who will throw rocks at visitors.
Sounds like me.
Right? I was like, aww. Still rocks.
Still rocks.
Still rocks. It is speculated that she could have been one of the children who were sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Understandable.
Oh, this one. So there's also the spirit of a little boy in the basement who can be seen playing. It is commonly thought that he is the spirit of a boy who hung out in the casino while it was a Latin Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this little boy would just come in and he annoyed the mobsters so much that one day they just threw him down the stairs and killed him.
No.
Yeah. So that's fun.
That's sad.
That's really sad. And they only found that out when they were, like, taking a tally, kind of a roster thing of, like, all the people that were killed while it was the Latin Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And they found that everyone's like, oh.
It's so sad.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, so also in the basement is a room where disembodied faces will appear on the wall.
Gross.
I don't like that.
That's disgusting. I don't like that at all.
Not a fan. No, thank you. I'm good.
No, thank you.
Good. Oh, important note. So, Bobby Mackey, guy that owns it.
Yeah.
His full name is Robert Randall Mackey.
Okay.
The name of Johanna's lover that was murdered. The guy that got her pregnant when she was a dancer was named Robert Randall.
That's right.
As the guy owns it, it's Robert Randall Mackey.
That's crazy.
So
full circle.
Full circle. Here we are. And so it is thought that her spirit remains active because of this connection, which makes sense if like anyone's saying that name.
Yeah.
And that's when you recognize it would make you stay, I'd imagine so. So the entity of Johanna has even been seen by the living on stage right behind Bobby Mackey when he is performing with his band.
Oh my gosh.
And like after he bought the place and like turned it into a bar, because he still like sings there because it's his bar, which fair. He like one day he got just inspired and it hit him. He's like, I need to write a song. The song is called The Ballad of Joanna.
Oh my gosh.
Weird, right?
That's crazy.
Spooky.
Did he write that knowing about Joanna already, or was he inspired beforehand?
I can't remember. Like, cause that's a very good question.
Because I feel like that would be a very weird connection. It'd be amazing if it like is somehow like a romance story of like her lover coming back to like save the place that where he had found her and then she had ended her life.
Is this all your reincarnation I use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this into a story one day.
Do it.
It'd be cute. That
would be really cute. My little heart. So, down in the basement, there is a mirror where the old dressing rooms used to be. In the mirror, people will often see the ghost of Joanna behind them. So they'll just be looking in there. They see her behind them. They turn around. No one's there.
Yeah, as usual.
As usual. Her presence is most often noted as the scent of roses will appear when she is near.
Oh.
And this was her favorite perfume when she was alive. Like, it's like overpowering roses that hits you and you're like, well, okay. Here we are. Ooh, this one's cool. So another occurrence that happened was when a wife of one of the employees, she was walking into the building, and when she did, the jukebox began to play. It began playing the anniversary song. When she went over to it, she discovered that not only was the jukebox unplugged, but
everything's always unplugged.
Everything's always unplugged. But that it also did not have the anniversary song on it.
Oof. That's crazy.
I love that. I need to actually listen to it. I know it's an older song. So I think it's probably Joanna's favorite song or something.
Probably. I want to listen to it.
All right. We'll listen in a second.
Yeah.
So there was an EVP caught when investigators were near the stage, and they were trying to talk to Joanna.
Yeah.
They asked her if she liked having live music here since she was a dancer. In response, they got a clear EVP of a woman saying in a southern accent, I love it when the band plays.
Aww.
It's like, oh. So, less fun incidents have occurred as many people claim to have been physically attacked by invisible entities, often brutally shoved or even pushed down the stairs. In particular, this activity seemed to intensify greatly the closer one was to the well in the basement.
I wonder why.
What could that be? I don't know.
Who knows?
So, one such incident happened to Bobby Mackey's wife, Janet. So she was downstairs in the basement and suddenly smelt an abundance of roses. And it began just like it hit her and it made her dizzy. And so she went to go back up the stairs. But after she got a few steps up, she felt something grab her by the waist, pick her up, and throw her back down the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
So when she was able to get back up, she ran up the stairs to get away. And when she got to the top, she looked behind her but saw no one. She then heard a disembodied female voice yelling at her, "Get out, get out, get out!"
I wonder if it was Joanna.
I think it was, because Janet was 5 months pregnant at the time.
Oh my gosh.
Spooky.
That is so crazy.
So I'm wondering, like, your reincarnation of you, if that has anything to do with that.
Because if Joanna sees Bobby Mackey, not Mackey. Was it Mackey?
Robert Randall Mackey is his full name.
was like, that. I thought of my friend for a second. I was like, wait. Yeah, if she thought of him as being, like, kind of, like, a connection to her old lover.
Yeah.
His wife, his partner, being 5 months pregnant at the time when she was 5 months pregnant would be very upsetting. Mm-hmm. It would be very upsetting, for sure.
So I can see how that would, like, upset you if you're like,
yeah,
I didn't get to have my kids, so neither can you.
Yeah.
Luckily, she was fine. She had her baby.
That's good.
She's good, though she no longer comes into the building, and I do not blame her.
I understand completely.
Yeah, if I got thrown down the stairs, I probably wouldn't go.
Yeah, especially when you're 5 months pregnant.
Yeah, not about that. Mm-mm. No. Ooh. So, the bathrooms. I love the bathrooms here.
It's always bathrooms. This one, you'll see. So, the bathrooms also seem to have a hotbed of activity, as lights have been known to turn on and off by themselves, along with water faucets that also turn on and off with no explanation. Which, imagine you're peeing and then the lights go out and then you hear water running. I would be so terrified.
Would you shit yourself?
Well, I'm already on the toilet, so I'd be fine.
Paranormal laxatives.
They always come back.
Yeah.
Episode 3?
Yeah, good job! Yeah.
I only know the first 5.
I understand. So, people have also had trash thrown at them while in the bathroom.
What?
It's like rude. Okay.
I would hate that so much. I'm already vulnerable. My pants are down.
Like, imagine if you're in, like, a girl's bathroom and you get a pad thrown at you. I'd be pissed.
Oh, yeah. I'd be so mad. I would probably be so scared and want to leave immediately.
I might throw the pad back at the ghost.
I would be too disgusted, too.
I understand. Rage fills me. I can only fight back.
I would want to fight, but I would flight.
I understand. One brain cell.
One brain cell.
So, that's also fun. Are you ready for my favorite part?
Yes.
In the men's bathroom in particular is the men's bathroom in particular is extremely haunted as the entity of a cowboy.
A cowboy
with a handlebar mustache calls this area home.
A handlebar mustache cowboy.
No one is sure who he is.
He just came out of nowhere like, yeehaw.
Yeet-haw.
Yeet-haw. He's ready to yeet-haw out of here.
I say yeet, and dare I say ha? You're about to yeet your last ha, partner. Cowboy news. Side note, did you guys know that there is a movie from the 60s called Billy the Kid versus Dracula, and we need to watch it?
I have never heard of that.
It's a real movie.
We have to watch it.
Because when it was National Cowboy Day, I was looking at memes, and that popped up. I'm like, this can't be a real movie. And it is.
Ooh.
So, we gotta watch it, because I just need to know what the premise is.
Yeah.
I guess it's, like, self-explanatory. So, this cowboy ghost, this one that's just, he yeeted his last haw partner. Cowboy memes. So, he's in there. He has been known to push and shove people, as well as punch and kick, even going so far as to beat people up into unconsciousness.
In the bathroom. I said, you're vulnerable in the bathroom. That's just really rude.
Apparently he does this all while yelling, die, 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 over and over again.
What happened to him in the bathroom?
I know, that's what I'm wondering. Like, sir.
I'm like, some people just need to go to the bathroom. They just need their privacy.
Like, imagine you're peeing, and then...
Imagine you have an upset stomach, and you're like, I just need to get to the bathroom. I just need to relieve myself. And then someone's just trying to beat the shit out of you.
While yelling, die, die, die. And you're like, what the fuck?
And you're like, I already felt like I was going to die. Like, you don't need to do this to me more.
I'm using a public restroom.
Yeah. Oof.
This is the one cowboy I don't like. Not about him.
Not about him at all.
Hilariously, though, there was an instance where a visitor was beat up by this cowboy, and he got his, like, clothes torn. And so, as a result, the visitor tried to sue Bobby Mackey's and press charges for the assault. Here's the problem. You can't arrest a ghost. And so
Can you sue a ghost?
That's what I wondered. But he, like, went to the cops and they're like, sir, we cannot press charges on a ghost.
Oh.
So, as a result of this, the staff had to make a sign, which is posted on the front door, warning their patrons about the ghosts. So if you look online, it's like, warning, if you enter this establishment, it is haunted. We are not liable for anything that will happen to you. If you get beat up into unconsciousness by a cowboy ghost, if you get rocks thrown at you, if you get pushed down the stairs.
We can't do anything about it.
We're not liable. We're not liable. Yeehaw.
Wow. To imagine that they have to have a sign now for that.
It's so funny to me. I was like, ah. I think my favorite is just the guy trying to press charge.
I want to sue this ghost for assault.
Can you imagine being like the guy in the precinct trying to write up that report? Like,
how would you even do that?
Oh. Assault by phantom. Here we are.
Oh.
So that's super fun. So around the same area, there is a very angry shadow that likes to break things and especially seems to target and attack women. So don't
Rude.
like that.
I hate that.
I'm going to beat him up.
Do it.
Paranormal investigators and psychics claim that there are up to 40 spirits residing in Bobby Mackey's.
Jeez.
All have differing personalities, temperaments, and danger.
Sounds about right.
Like,
Ghosts.
Headless Pearl and then the mean cowboy.
Mean cowboy and upset Joanna.
I need the girls just, team up and beat the shit out of the cowboy.
Ooh.
Steal his clothes. Make them cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this plan.
Once they defeat him, they become the cowboys.
Yes! I like this plan. Let's do that.
Hmm.
So, this is pretty cool. So, don't you worry, I'm almost done.
You're fine.
Nearing the end, my friend. So, I think you'll get a kick out of this. There was an instance where one night a loud band was playing at the club.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the ghosts were not a fan. Because soon after, items started being thrown from the ceiling.
What?
Into the crowd and at the band. And after this, a bunch of people saw that they had received voicemails from a nameless caller out of nowhere. It's like they looked on their phone. There's not even a number. It's just blank, but there's a voicemail there.
Weird.
And when they checked, they all had the same voicemail. They listened, and they could hear disembodied female spirits saying, "Make the band leave."
Oh my gosh. Imagine being that band and being like, ghosts don't like us.
I think that's your cue there.
It's like, that's time for a career change.
Let's start a podcast.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
I'm really wanting the gals just to, take over, quite honestly. Kick out Scott Jackson. Kick out that cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave anybody that's nice.
Yeah.
Like any murder victims. Hang out.
Leave the nice kids.
I'm just thinking, imagining Joanna just, a cool cowboy outfit.
I just hope that she's pretty chill. She seems like she would be, but I'm still kind of upset what she did to Janet.
Yeah, that seems to be, the only mean instance I could find with her. The rest are kind of, she appears.
But is it just her, though, that's doing that? Because we don't really know.
That's true.
We just assume it's her. But there's other people who've lost their children at 5 months, too.
I'm wondering if, because the thing that got me is the rose scent.
Mm-hmm. She could have been there to warn.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe. I don't know her, so I can't say anything. But it is possible that she could have tried warning if this is the only incident where she's ever been malicious.
So she could have,
It could have been because this Janet had a connection to Bobby, or she was trying to warn her.
So, because Janet was in the basement and she smelled the perfume and she got dizzy, that's why she went upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the demon's down there and Joanna's like, I gotta warn her.
Yeah.
Oh,
it could have been that. I don't know for sure. I don't know her. But that's a very possible thing, because I don't think from what she sounds like, she wouldn't have been the one to be so malicious, because she was heartbroken over losing her beloved.
Exactly.
And then there's a lot of people who were sacrificing unborn children and people, so.
My mom called. She says I have to go home.
God damn it, Google Home. Why do you do this every time? Every time.
Episode 2. If you guys haven't listened to episode 2, I was telling V about the Mountain Meadows Massacre, and I was telling her about the EVPs that happened, and they're spooky, and then as soon as I was telling her about it, the Google Home started listing off Bible verses, and it was terrifying.
That's true.
I don't think I'll ever get over that.
I think my Wi-Fi is just being weird, so
Weird.
It was being weird beforehand, so
that is true.
I don't know. Anyways,
I like your theory about her trying to warn her. That feels more in line.
Because if she's never done anything else, it doesn't seem right. So, but there's other malicious spirits there, so it's very possible she was trying to get her out of that area.
Yeah, I like that.
Who knows?
One brain cell. That makes sense to me. So, yeah, they're like, make the band leave. The band probably had a career change because,
I'm like, I can't imagine still being a band after that happened.
I don't think you come back from that.
I'm like, it's one thing to be like booed from like one angry drunk person who doesn't know what they're doing anymore and they're just angry because of something else and they're taking it out on you. But for ghosts to get on everyone's phone to tell the
to throw shit at you and
to throw shit at you and the fans or the people listening, and then send voicemails to all the people saying for you to leave. I can't imagine coming back from that.
That's just so funny. I wonder if I dug far enough if I could find out what band. Oh, it might have been just like a local one though.
Maybe.
That'd be a fun story to tell at parties.
Yeah.
Once you get over like that shame of ghosts telling you that you suck. Pretty good story.
That is a good story.
Let's see.
I would tell people that if I was in the band.
Right.
And I got booed from ghosts.
I think it's a good opener.
Yeah. It's a nice, interesting fact for you when you're making new friends.
As a treat. So there's that. Oh, many people report having their arms stroked, and when no one else is standing there, others report feeling suddenly faint and sick, and just like an overwhelming sense of unwellness. Ooh, many say that they smell an awful stench that comes and goes, and it's so bad that people nearly vomit.
Ew.
Yeah. I'm thinking nasty. Demon from the basement.
Definitely.
Just saying. Most often visitors will report a strong sense that someone is watching you from the corner of the room.
Oof.
Don't like that.
I hate that.
Yeah, not a fan. So there are a few reports of different people reporting that they were possessed while being at Bobby Mackey's. Some claim that their faces actually looked morphed and changed shape as well, as feeling something or someone surge through their body with a freezing chill and having absolutely no control of what was happening to them.
Huh. I don't like that.
Nope. Even after all of this, after everything, Bobby Mackey himself still does not believe in ghosts.
What?
And he doesn't believe that the building's haunted.
What?
So the ghost just like must leave him alone because he's never had any experiences. He barely believes anybody, but like so many people have come to him and been like, yeah, no, this happened. And I guess like one night at dinner he was like shitting on it and his wife's like, actually, I've seen some stuff. So
that's crazy.
It's just weird.
How is it always like these random owners just they don't have anything happen to them? Is it because they're like respecting the place enough that like no one's doing anything to them? Because
he definitely loves his bar.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's it.
Yeah, because like he doesn't seem like he's doing any. Well,
he hasn't done like any major renovations. Like
yeah, and he isn't doing any like kind of malicious things under. Like behind the scene, to our knowledge at least, that would make more things angry, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I don't know. I'm just like, that's so weird that there's so many of these people that are like, well, we'll just deal with it, or, you know, we'll just let it be, and they don't get any bad things happen to them.
I think I'm just most surprised like nothing's happened to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't see it? I don't know. Either way, Bobby Mackey's is still open today, and it is still giving customers a night of fun, laughter, dancing, music, and of course, the ghosts and spirits from the portal of hell.
Yeah.
And that is Bobby Mackey's Music World.
I loved it.
I was excited to tell you about the cowboy that just beats the shit out of you.
I'm going to go into that men's bathroom and fight it.
We're going to pick a fight with more ghosts.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I need more to drink.
We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Let's see. Come on.
Oh, my back.
Beep boop bop.
Oh. She's this chick.
Let's see.
Oh. That's the chick
Ah.
in it. Fan art.
Fan art. We are back. Hello.
Gotta love it. Hello.
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 Welcome back.
Did you guys miss us?
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you miss us?
We'll take your silence as a positive yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I said yes, so I missed us.
Missed us too.
Gay.
See, so we got 2 for 2. Here
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all that matters. It's 100% missed.
Well, my
Okay.
dear friend,
My dear friend,
do you have a story to tell me?
I do have a bit of a story.
Ooh. A guessing game that I
Yeah.
love
It's gonna be a guessing game for a true crime
True crime.
story that kind of, it's a well-known story because from it, oops, did I bring it too close?
There you go.
Okay. From it, we had it brought together a lot of things. And so if you've worked in any kind of retail job or any public area, kind of like any job where you're working with people and people can go missing, this is something that you will learn at any kind of job like that.
Is it Code Adam?
Yep.
Ah!
I'm going to talk about the murder of Adam Walsh, which is what brings in Code Adam into the world.
I should have known that because I know about the Amber Alert. I didn't realize Code Adam came from a murder as well.
Yeah.
I had a friend that worked on Ross. Like, she worked at Ross and... No, it wasn't Ross. Kohl's. It was Kohl's.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me about that. And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. We all learn how to do a Code Adam at your jobs.
Uh-huh.
At least in the U.S. and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It could be... It might have a different name somewhere else. I'm not sure how they implement it other places. But pretty much this story that happens, was it? Let's see. In 1981, this is the beginning of also how John Walsh became the host and TV personality that was on America's Most Wanted.
That show gave me nightmares as a kid.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids watch it. No.
The reason why, because of what happened to his son.
Wait, is this?
This is his son's story.
No way.
And that's how, what kind of brought his story is kind of what brought him to want to help find others and, help get those unsolved mysteries taken care of.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to learn
it's
about this
crazy, yeah. Because he was 6 years old when this happened. It's It's a sad bummer of a story, but I'll try to keep it short because there's not much to go into it other than what happens and how things just kind of.
I'm super curious to learn what happens in the aftermath and how Code Adam can be.
So
yeah. Y'all ready?
It's a very sad story. So pretty much on July 27th, 1981, Adam Walsh's mother, Reeve, I can't ever remember. I watched an interview with her name in it to be like, I will get her name right.
Is it
Reve?
Jesus Christ.
Is Charlie in there?
Yeah, she somehow got in the closet.
She's always in the closet. I keep telling her to get out.
Yeah.
So
I think
Reve.
Or yeah. Or it could be Reeve.
Reve. Sadly, I will butcher every name that I ever do a story on because I don't ever look it up.
I understand.
I tried to this time. And then I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I try and put pronunciations and then I forget how I typed
the pronunciations.
So
I used to do that all the time when I was trying to learn different languages and I'm like, this doesn't sound right.
No. We're professionals.
So Adam and his mother had went shopping in the Hollywood Mall in Hollywood, Florida. Mm-hmm. They were in a Sears and entered through the north entrance. And so his mother had been looking at this lamp and was talking to someone about it. Left Adam at a kiosk where he was playing like an Atari game that was on display.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because like it's the 80s. Even in the 90s, you kind of just like left your kids in aisles and be like, okay, I'll come back for you later. Like, it's fine. Because you trust your
kid's going to stay there, like, playing that game.
They're like, they're occupied. They're not going to move. I'm not going to bother having them cry and try to, back then, they were just like, whatever. We'll just leave them be.
Oh, I remembered a story that I'll tell you.
I want to hear later.
Okay.
So, she does her business. And then pretty much tries to come back to find Adam. But him and all the other boys are gone.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It seems like a store manager told them that there was a scuffle or a fight that broke out where on who was to take a turn at the kiosk. And so a security guard demanded that they all leave the store. All these little boys. Just a bunch of kids.
I feel like there's better ways to deal with that.
That was the 80s. Early 80s.
They're like 6. They're little.
They were little kids.
That feels like more like, oh, here, come with me, and we'll, like, page your mom kind of thing.
But they didn't care back then. Back then...
You're right.
There was, like, what? They still had, like, the latchkey kids.
Yeah, my mom was a latchkey kid.
Yeah. It just... They didn't care back then. So, the security guard asked the older boys if their parents were there, and they said that they were not. So later, Adam's parents So Adam's parents later said that like he was too shy to speak to the security guard, who probably just presumed that he was in the company of the other boys, and so. By the security guard telling him to leave, he left with those with those boys, and like it was, like so they came in through the north entrance, and those boys left through the west entrance, and so Adam followed those boys out.
Which it makes sense. You're 6. You're impressionable.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, we're all getting kicked out. I'm just gonna follow these guys I was with.
Where else are you gonna go?
Exactly. You're like, I don't know where my parents are.
Yeah.
Whatever. So,
were they also around the same age, do we know, or like just general kid age?
They're probably just general kid ages,
okay.
Especially like because even at that time, like being like 6, 8, or 12, like
you was grown.
Yeah, you out there just doing whatever. Pretty much until it got dark. Because I remember doing that when I was like 4 or 5. I'd just be like 4 and 5 till like about 12, where I'd just be outside like until dark, until like my family became like super obsessive with like me not being outside, and I'm like,
That's
okay. It's a very weird time. Anyways, so they pretty much like his parents believe that once they all dispersed, Adam was just left alone outside the store at the unfamiliar exit, and so unable to find him like in the toy department, because they were still searching for him inside. Like his mom had him paged over the public system and continued to look for him throughout the whole store.
So this is still like in the Sears.
Okay.
So
she was still inside the Sears, but they believe that he was outside at that time when they were paging him.
Oh, I don't know why in my head I'm like, oh, this is like inside of a mall. Because like the department store's like inside of malls. Like,
yeah, but like
this is like a Sears, like alone.
Well, like even inside of like if you go to a mall and you see like those big department stores, they still have those 3 other exits, and then they have the mall exit. So they probably just came out through the parking lot exit.
Oh, that'd be scary as a kid. Oh shit.
Yeah. And so, like, by coincidence, Adam's mom ran into his paternal grandmother, so they also helped search for him. Mm-hmm. And then after more than 90 minutes of searching and the pages, she called the police. Mm-hmm. And so, let's see.
That would make sense if he didn't come if he was outside, because he wouldn't hear the paging.
Yeah, because so she pretty much was doing the business with the lamps around 12:15, and then they called the police at 1:55 p.m.
Okay.
So about like almost 2 hours later of her leaving her son alone.
God.
Yeah. So that was July 27th. And then August 10th, they found a severed head.
Sorry, July 27th, August 11th. Oh, wait.
August 10th.
August 10th.
So, how many days is in July? 31?
I think so.
We just passed July.
Yeah. I know there's 31 in August. So,
like, 31?
31?
31?
I guess you can, like, click up.
Now this is popping up. Yeah, 31.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the knuckles thing. That worked. Yeah, so that was 14 days. 2 weeks later, they find a severed head.
Why is this another double story? Another.
I changed my story like three times this morning.
But you settled on one that also had the decapitation. So
you got me there. You got me there because my other two stories definitely did not have any of that. Yeah.
Cowboys and decapitation.
Right? So the head was found in a drainage canal alongside the Florida Turnpike near Vero Beach.
Oh, God.
So about 130 miles away from Hollywood.
What?
Mm-hmm. So they searched the canal, and then on the morning of August 11th, Adam's parents both appeared on national television saying that they still hoped that Adam was alive, and that there was a $100,000 reward that had been posted for his safe return. But then soon after that, they had recovered the remains that were identified as Adam.
So was the head also hit? Where did they find the rest of the remains? They said the head was in the turnpike, which...
I don't want to look into this, but I will.
I'm just curious, like... So after they found the head, they still believed he was alive, but there'd be dental records.
Mm-hmm. There would be. Let's see. Why is this not... I don't want to look at investigation photos.
Nope.
Let's not do that.
Got me and my brother watching a mystery show the other day, and the Dyatlov Fast came up.
Oof.
And they just, like, there was, like, the full crime scene photos. I'm like, oof, I did not look at these for a reason.
Yeah.
And they were, like, colored. I was like, oh.
It's rough.
That one's, guys.
It's like looking at Ed Gein's furniture. It's rough.
I don't know which is worse.
I think yours would have been worse.
Like
I was a little bit already desensitized, but then like knowing that was real, kind of ruined. Like if I was just like, if that was like movie props, I'd be like whatever. But knowing that was real kind of ruins it. But yours, I think, would be worse.
The problem was like the ones that still had their faces, like they looked in agony and they were frozen that way. And then the ones that did not have their faces, it looked like just black sockets with like a skeleton face and hair attached in it. Guys, don't look at
Don't look at it.
Don't look at the Dyatlov Fast photos.
Don't look at it.
Check episode 21 and 22.
Let's see. Where do they find the rest? Anyway, so
I'm sorry.
while I look up where they found the rest of his body.
Because there's like a day in between that they found.
So pretty much like pretty soon after they made that, they got on TV to say like, please bring us back our son as soon as possible. They were able to identify him. Let's see.
That's rough.
So they found, Oh, no, his body was never found.
Oh.
They identified him through just the head.
Okay, because I was wondering, like, if they find the head and then they're like, we believe our son's still alive, I'm like,
Oh, I read that wrong. The recovered remains were identified as Adam. So instead of just the remains. Because it's what they recovered was just the head.
Oh.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Even as I was reading that, I'm like, did they find the rest? I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
So we have the opposite, because Pearl Bryan's head was never found. And
Adam's body was never found.
Jeez. We need to stop doing this.
Together, no.
One brain cell, one body. One
I hate that.
functioning-ish adult. Are you guys having fun?
I am having a meltdown, a breakdown.
Welcome to our podcast. Oh, so they find the head.
They find his head. They were able to recover that. They were able to find out that it was actually Adam.
Oh.
Let's see. Did I mention that, like, the time that he was pretty, like, from when his mom had come back and, like, or went to get the lamp to find, or trying to find her son and, like, realizing that he was kicked out, it was, like, only 10 minutes.
What?
Mm-hmm. It was about 10 minutes, like, between her leaving him alone and then 2 hours of them searching, or, like, 2 hours altogether of her not having her son before being like, I need to call someone about it.
Because that's terrifying. Because, like, even now, if you left your kid alone for, like, 10 minutes, I feel like that's generally safe, depending on where. You're like, that feels like a short amount of time.
That's the thing is, like, when you get a call, when you have a code Adam, that's why they have that shutdown immediately.
Okay.
Of, like, they check everyone, like, they have everyone get checked at the door, like, pretty much no one's allowed to come in and out unless, like, they're identifying children and, like, their shoes and stuff, because kids, they can easily just be grabbed, pulled, and taken away, and, like, in such little time, so much terrible things could happen.
It's crazy to think just, like, that short amount.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And that's why they always tell you, like, to check the shoes, because it's easy for them to just, like, go somewhere, change his clothes. So when they identify who, like, if you're trying to, like, describe the child,
What?
they'll change their clothes when they're kidnapping them. Yeah. So that's why they usually say to ask their parents what shoes they're wearing.
Oh, my God.
Because they won't have shoes that will, like, match the kids. Because you never know what size kid you're going to get. You're just going to grab a kid. So
I don't like how thought out that is.
it's crazy how much that, like, goes into detail when you're, like, being trained on this, and you're like,
That stuff
people have done this.
Yeah.
People have, like, this has to have happened so many times that it's not part of the training. Yeah. Of, like, you get the full name, you get the shoes, you get the description of the child, and, like, you just have people watching everywhere for this kid, and, like, watching who's coming out and, like, at any of the exits. It's crazy. Like, it's insane. Anyways, so that was 1981. It isn't until around 1983, pretty much, that they find out who the killer is.
Oh.
They concluded that Adam was abducted by a drifter named Otis Toole near the front exterior of Sears that afternoon after being instructed to leave. So, like, he went through that exit, and then this drifter saw him and just took him.
Oh, my God.
According to Toole, he lured him into his white 1971 Cadillac with the promise of toys and candy, and then proceeded to drive north on the interstate towards his place in Jacksonville. So, pretty much, like, at first, Adam was pretty quiet and, like, chill with it, but then he started to, like, complain and panic as they continue to drive, because Hollywood is, like, I'm trying to think, like, Hollywood is closer to, like, South Florida. Jacksonville is North Florida. I'm like, that's a very long drive. Like, I've done it from, like, Orlando to Miami, and I'm like, 4 hours of driving is too much driving.
Jesus.
So, like, Orlando's, like, halfway in Florida. That's further. That's so much driving, and for a little kid who doesn't know this person, there's no candy or toys. Like, yeah.
Like, I think a switch would flip, and you would know something's wrong, but you don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, because I know another thing that some people will do when they are trying to kidnap children is be like, oh, do you want to come pet my dog? Mm-hmm. There's no dog.
No.
Ugh.
It's the craziest thing to really think about. Like, that it's happened so often, too, that, like, now we warn people of it. Like, now we have, like, safe words and codes of being like, don't trust anyone unless, like, they know this one.
My parents and I had I think it was Kitty Sparkle. Yeah.
Have you heard,
me and my sister came up with it.
Have you heard of, oh my gosh, what is this comedian's name? He does the joke about how he hijacked a train in Russia. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'm like, he doesn't wear a shirt when he's on stage. I know that.
This is the Lost Comedian episode.
I know who he is. I see him in my head. I see his crazy eyes. He doesn't really have too crazy of eyes. I'm just like, he's a very intense person. I feel like I would be very, very, like, I can't have a real conversation with this guy if he has, like, this much intensity, like, in normal conversations, but I don't think he would. Anyways, he had a joke about how his daughter came up with a safe word at being like, I think it was motherfucker.
That's so good.
And he's like, I don't think my friend would, like, he's all like, I need to have my friend pick you up from school, like, and she's like, okay, like, this is gonna be our code word, like, it's gonna, like, it has to be motherfucker. He's like, it can't be motherfucker. It's like, he's like, no one's gonna expect someone to yell motherfucker at at a kid as a code, like, it says safe word. And so she's like, exactly, that's why it has to be her safe word. And so he tried to pick her up, mm-hmm. and she wouldn't get in the car until he said it to her. And, like, in front of all these people, too. And I'm just like,
oh, that's so good.
This guy's daughter, like, the stories that he has about his daughter, I just love. Lila, that's the name of her. Can't remember his name. What the fuck?
Because, guys, V showed me the comedy, the John Mulaney skit she was talking about earlier, and it fit very well.
It would have fit if I knew how to frickin' tell my jokes about the post.
Was it tots are just...
Tots are just angels who haven't died yet.
There we go.
Anyways.
Child kidnapping.
Yep. Child kidnapping.
This is where we are.
This is the bummer that we're on. This is why I'm bringing up comedians, because I'm like, I need some light in my life.
Lost comedians. And you've yeeted your last ha.
So, while Adam was panicking, Jewel had hit him in the face, pretty much trying to, like, get him to quiet down, but it just kind of worsened it until he continued to beat him until he was unconscious. Then he drove north on the Florida Turnpike to a deserted service road, pretty much to strangle him to death.
Oh.
Yep. I'm not going to go too much into it, but, you know, he gets decapitated, and then he claims that he had disposed of the body by incinerating it in an old refrigerator when he returned to Jacksonville. He claimed that he had wanted to make Adam his adopted son, but given the loving relationship that he had already had with his own parents, like, he knew that it wasn't going to work out, so that's why.
What I don't get is the decapitation.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of work, and like, evidence speaking, that feels weird to just dispose of the head and then incinerate the body.
Yeah.
You feel?
That makes no sense to me either. I'm like, that doesn't...
I mean, I feel this guy was not mentally well.
Yeah, but obviously. Like, I think it's just, like that moment of passion of just being like, he strangles this child. That's such a sad... I feel so disgusting.
Yeah.
And disgusted. And it's so sad. Especially since Toole, he was never charged.
I'm sorry.
In Adam's case.
I'm sorry. Elaborate?
So even though he provide like the description of how he committed it and everything, and like it lined up to how what they were able to tell from his head, like, oh, he died of asphyxiation, and like his story made sense with what happened, and with several witnesses saying that they had seen him there and saw the car and saw him with the child, with Adam. He was never charged, but he did end up being in prison for other crimes and then died in jail in 96.
Good.
Yeah. But, there was a lot of blame on the police officers for not quite doing a good enough job with this case.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they mishandle evidence, or just like they weren't on it quick
They
enough?
weren't really on it as much, That
feels weird, especially like missing kid cases.
Yeah.
You kind of got to get on those fast.
Because like John Walsh was at the police station for like at least 2 weeks trying to figure out like what they can find out.
Yeah.
See who it could have been who had their son, and he's like, I know that you guys you guys should know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have everything to know who it could have been.
You witnesses, you have.
Yeah. And it wasn't until they got a new chief at the police station that who was like, okay, like, I'll look into this, I'll like review this, and that's why it took like that
2 years.
Yeah, from 81 to 83. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's sad.
God damn.
Yeah. So pretty much, let's see. So after Toole had died, his niece had told John that he made a deathbed confession to Adam's murder. And that confession was viewed as unreliable because his confession was viewed as his confession was viewed as unreliable because he confessed to or implicated himself to like more than like 200 different homicides.
Oh no.
And like one of his other partners that he worked with, like that also like confessed a lot, had later been revealed to be false or been coerced out of him. So they weren't able to use that as like evidence that like, hey, like his actual death confession was also true. But
yeah,
because like he and his partner had like confessed to all of these other ones too. But I'm just like, but everything's kind of pointing to it.
Like, I get it's all circumstantial, but you could build a very strong circumstantial case. Just saying.
Just saying.
Like,
yeah. Let's see.
So then what does Adam stand for now?
Code Adam?
Yeah.
It's what you would call like a missing child situation.
Yeah, like the acronym, isn't it? An acronym?
Is it an acronym?
Because I know Amber Alert is, but it's named after Amber, but they were able to make an acronym out of it.
Because like, I don't think it's an acronym itself.
Oh, okay.
Because it's, because like some places have like a different name for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just like depending, but like almost every United States and Canadian thing has like their process for it, but yeah, I don't think it has like an acronym for it.
That's crazy though.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like, I'm glad the code got put into place.
Oh yeah, me too. That's
like sad it had to happen, but glad that some good has come.
Yeah, and I'm sure that like a lot of people are very glad that like, even though this was a tragedy, that they were able to find a way to help others not have to have the same experience. And like I think that's the saddest thing is because like when you lose a child, like it's truly the most heartbreaking thing.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't ever like really truly recover from it. Like,
I don't know how you would.
It's so hard to like think about like moving on from that at that moment, and to know that like he's had like John Walsh and his wife had at least like 3 other kids since, and like have been able to help with other cases and other situations because they have like this passion of being like, we don't want this to happen to other people, or like we don't want them to not have that justice for as long as they haven't had it.
Because I can't imagine just like trying to just deal with that. So I'm glad that they were able to create that. Oof.
Yeah. So pretty much, I'm gonna not go too deep into why in like 97 and 2007, because like pretty much John had come out with a book and was trying to like make an analysis of like what had happened and like pretty much what was going on with the case. And like one of the chiefs back then was like, we can't really do anything with this because those criminals like who Toole and his partner, they would confess to things and then recant it, and like we can't trust it. And then in 2007, people were like, what if it was Jeffrey Dahmer? Because he lived in South Florida at that time too, and they're like, he fits the description of who could have it been. Like he would have been at that same mall at that same time, but Adam is like at least 8 years younger than like most of his victims.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't work out. And he's all like, I've told you everything. Like, why wouldn't I tell you about this kid if I killed him?
Yeah.
Like, I've told you everything else, how I lured them, ate them, whatever, what I did to them. So pretty much they were like, no, it couldn't have been him.
Yeah, interesting theory, but yeah, I don't think it was him.
Oh, no. It wasn't until December 2008 when Florida Police Chief Chad Wagner, who was the friend of John, announced that the case was now closed and that an external review of the case had been conducted, and they were satisfied that Toole was the actual murderer.
Because that's what
and it makes sense. Like, it just, I don't know. It's just, everything lines up to that. Yeah. I love I'm going to hear the sound of dishes moving.
I can tell you my fun story I remembered.
Yeah.
So when my sister was, I think about 5, give or take, my mom took her shopping, and I can't remember if it was actually at Sears or Kohl's, but it was one of the blue department stores. I remember that. My mom was looking around, and all of a sudden she can't find my sister, and she's like, oh my God. And so they call the code Adam, and they shut down the store. Turns out my sister was just hiding in, like, you know, the circle racks?
Yeah.
She was hiding inside that. Just for fun.
Amazing.
My mom was not very happy about that.
I love how, like, the fear just turns into, like, oh my gosh, why are you like this?
This is the same kid that flushed her Easter dress down the toilet.
That's right.
The toilet got clogged, and so my parents had to call a plumber. The plumber, like, pulls the dress out, and he's like, what's this? My mom's like, I'm gonna murder that child.
Amazing. Why is there so many dishes being moved while we're recording? I hope that's going to stay in the podcast.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. We're still recording. You can still hear that. Yeah, we can hear you moving that and opening that.
It's extra.
It's just extra.
I'm just surprised my sister was able to flush a whole dress down the toilet.
I always imagine it as a big, fluffy dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a new one my mom bought her. She was
Oof.
mad. She also, I remember I got a Bell toothbrush, and like the day I got it, she flushed down the toilet. They had to put a lock on the toilet for a while. Like one of those child locks.
Oh my gosh. She was not allowed to use the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, and then another time, she took a bottle of red nail polish, and she chucked it at the wall. Oh.
Fun.
So if she picked up anything, my parents could not show any emotion. If she picked up like a glass thing, and my mom's like, then Abby would just chuck it. So they just like turned away.
What kind of energy is that?
Chaos.
That's amazing.
Last story, but another time we were in the car playing hide and seek, and just like with my baseball cap, because I was on the way to baseball practice, and she ran out of places to hide. So while my eyes were closed, she's like, "Oh, I know where to do it." She rolled down the window and threw my hat out the window. I was so mad at her.
She has such chaotic energy.
She does. And then, sorry, one last story. I promise, last one. This, like, a few years back, we got in an argument. I can't remember what it was. But she, like, 3-ish feet away from me, spat in my face. Like, full-on loogie, like, llama loogied in my face. There was about, like, 2 seconds where I just stood there in shock. And then she booked it downstairs, and she locked her door, which was smart because I was about to murder her.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get her door open, so I took mustard and just drew mustard on her door because I was very angry.
Understandable.
She spat in my face.
I once had a friend vomit on my face. Because
On your face?
they were trying to throw up outside the window
Wait.
of a car. And I was in the back seat, hungover.
Oh, no.
Or not hungover, still drunk. Just leaning against the door. She was just trying to throw up outside the window of a moving car. And it hit me in the face. It was...
Have you ever recovered from that, buddy?
I don't trust people.
I understand. I
don't trust people.
I guilty feet, you got no rhythm. You're never gonna dance again.
Never gonna dance again. Ugh.
Good times.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you still moving stuff around in the kitchen? Why?
We're home again.
I got lost at Adventure Islands in Florida, Tampa, Florida. I was like, what, 4 or 5? I was super small.
Did you just like book it?
No, I just remember being in a crowd of people because like it's a very small park, but there's so many people. And there's like the water waves and then the lazy river. And like it was just crowded in the middle of the summer. I just see a bunch of people that don't look like me. And I just started freaking out and screaming. And then I don't know. I don't like crowds.
Is this where it all stems from?
Probably.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Lil V running.
No, I don't know if I actually ran. I think I just like stood there and screamed.
Yeah, same energy.
Yeah. That sounds more like me to just stand and scream instead of do anything.
You here now?
I'm here now.
Yeah, there we go.
And I'll sit and scream instead.
Boo.
Yeah. So.
That's what we call character development.
Right? So pretty much that's the end of the story about the murder of Adam Walsh. But
Ooh-wee.
it's rough.
That's rough, but
pretty much, though, he did have a legacy that has helped a lot of other people. And pretty much it started in 1984, just after they found his body. Mm-hmm. And the Congress had passed the Missing Children's Assistance Act. So pretty much they were able to form the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And then the Code Adam program was for helping the lost children in those department stores. Mm-hmm. Oh, I read that wrong. So 1984 was the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children to help find kids and stuff. 2006, I can't read my own Wikipedia page. I haven't read before. I'm kidding. 2006 is when they had the Adam Walsh thing pretty much happen. So it's pretty much like when I started. Like I started work. I was 14.
Wait, there was that amount of time in between Code Adam? And really?
Yeah. And they didn't close the case until 2008 or 2007. I just read that. 2008.
So that means there wasn't a Code Adam for like a few decades.
Just 16 years. 15, 14, 15, 16. Why are you microwaving? You can still hear that. These mics can hear that.
They can hear you.
Yeah, they're hearing you too. You're gonna make Kate edit all this? No, this is staying in it. There's a microwave going off anyways. There's no point in editing any of this.
Do you guys feel like you're really here with us? A part of the team. Nice. That feels weird that the code wasn't made until later.
How old were you in 2006? 9?
Oh, it's 2006. So it's 97.
You were 9.
8.
You said 97.
Mm-hmm.
So 2007, you would have been 10.
Thank you.
So 2006, you would have been 9.
I can't do math. This has been well established.
Oh, you were 9. I was 14.
And here we are together.
Yeah, so they passed that in 2006. The Congress passed that in 2006, and then President George Bush signed it into law July 27th, so like 2 days later.
Okay.
So pretty much after that bill also helped institute a national database for convicted child molesters.
Oh, nice.
And increased the penalty for sexual and violent offenses against children.
Yes.
So like with John and his wife, I wish I knew how to say her name. Like they were advocating for all of these things throughout the years after what had happened with Adam. And so in 2016, there was the Adam Walsh Reauthorization Act of 2016, which provided like budgetary allotments to help continue those programs.
Oh, nice.
Passed from that act. And so that also passed in the... I just said that passed. It passed in the Senate, and like it should be awaiting consideration by the House. That was in 2016, so I need to figure out if that's been fixed yet or if that's been taken care of, because that's a really big program that should definitely stay. Like it's doing a lot more than some other things that they're passing in the government.
Seriously.
So, anyways, that's for another podcast that we don't have. But yeah.
Owie zowie.
And I think also, like, pretty much after that national news of what happened to Adam, that's kind of like ended or started the downfall of like having latchkey kids and being all like, hey, there's crazy people out there that are taking children. Yeah. Even outside of my house, like in my mail, like the community mailbox, there's like this paper. There's this, someone printed off a sign and just taped it there that's like saying that like child trafficking is real and like we have to be careful and be aware.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy how like it's still such a relevant thing that's happening right now, and you never know what's going to happen if you don't try to watch out for yourself, and not for yourself, but like for everyone around you too.
Oh yeah. Like my parents were like helicopter parents, and I always thought like they were like way too much until I got older. I'm like, oh, kids can die a lot of ways.
Yeah. Like, we're very susceptible.
Dang, it's froze again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There we go. This will be fun stringing together.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Ooh, do you have a song rec?
I was going to tell your story really quick about how when I was 13 and I ran away from the church that I was at, and I got picked up by a bunch of guys on motorcycles.
Oh my God.
It was pretty much in Florida. It's not like a highway, but it's like one of those like freeways where it's just like one long one-way road in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. I don't even remember what area it was.
How you've survived,
I don't know either, because I walked for at least 20 minutes. I don't even know if it was like northbound or southbound on that street. But I was going against traffic on the side.
Oof.
Just just in the grass, just walking and crying because girls were being mean, and like this people on motorcycles were passing, and then they did like a U-turn and came back around, and you're like, what are you doing in the middle of the road, or like middle of this nowhere, just crying? And like, where do you come from? And I was just crying, and I just like pointed back like towards where like the street goes, and they're like, just get on the back of my motorcycle and like I'll take you back there. And I was like, okay, fine. I was awaiting death, but I didn't get death. I got sent back to my church, and then no one noticed that a bunch of guys on motorcycles brought me back. I walked into the church crying, and they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, they should have just. That's just a weird day.
I can't wait for you to write your memoir.
Oh, there's so many weird stories in my life that I'm like, I don't know how this connects to anything else that happened in my life either.
That's why I have a podcast.
That's true. I'm surprised I haven't been murdered yet.
Yeah, me too. You and Alex.
Yeah.
God. I'll fight any murderers for you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all will never get kidnapped, because if you did, the kidnapper would be dead.
You got me there. My
little spidey senses would tingle. I'd come running.
You do have a car, too.
I do.
But you could still come running.
Exactly.
I believe in you and your running abilities.
My little legs can get far.
I believe it.
I can walk
Anyway,
fast.
so that's my story. Thank you.
Woohoo! Stay safe.
Stay
everyone,
safe.
Please.
Don't be stupid like me when I was 13.
Well, do you have a song recommendation?
A song recommendation request. I'm gonna do Dynamite by BTS because it's their first ever full English song that all of them sing in English.
Damn. Good for them.
It hit 100. I think it was 101 or at least 100 million views on YouTube the first 24 hours it was released.
BTS is too strong.
They also got a record on Spotify for the most streams.
I believe that.
I can't remember if it was like 7.7 million or something, or 7 point some. I don't remember. At least 7 million.
All armies use your powers for good.
Oh,
there's so many of you.
There's so much, and they really do. Like, it's crazy all the different kind of like fundraisers that they do, and like when it's one of the members' birthdays, they'll like, oh, we should do a thing in their name to help some cause that like they know that they care about.
Yeah. Love that.
They're really good.
That's cute.
Some of them are very intense, but like most of them have like a really good place, or they're coming from a good place. And so you just have to find, like, there's always going to be interesting fans everywhere.
Yeah.
Who are going to scare some away, but usually most of them are pretty cool and good. I haven't met any that have made me like, I don't know about this. Like, everyone I've ever talked to that is a fan, I've really liked and thought was really cool. So
see, I love that.
Yeah. What's your song recommendation request?
I'm gonna do "Shoot" by Salt and Peppa.
Nice.
That's just a bop.
That sounds.
Side note: if anyone else has seen She-Ra, talk to me.
Ooh.
Finished it, and my little gay heart is just
we gay and we love good animation and good representation.
Lesbians living happily and not dying.
Amazing.
Crazy.
Oh, to be a woman-loving woman in this day and age with this good representation.
8-foot-tall sword lesbian, buff, strong.
I need to finish She-Ra one day.
We'll come over. We'll watch it.
We'll watch it and
so
then
watch it again.
And then we'll watch Howl's Moving Castle and be like,
yes,
Sophie. She's so relatable.
She is. And Howl's
love
just
her.
pretty.
He's so pretty.
He's so pretty. If you guys want to get into contact with us.
Yeah. If you want to talk to us.
Talk to us. Talk to that She-Ra, the BTS, House Moon Castle, all the above.
Yeah. Prince, please.
Please, for the love of God. You can hit us up at tipsymysteries@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram. That's where we're most active.
Yeah.
We're also on YouTube now.
That's true. We do
all at Tipsy Mysteries.
Videos. Yeah.
Facebook,
You can try. I don't know about Facebook.
I think I've just given up. I'm sorry.
We might just give up on that. We keep joking about having a Patreon. We still don't have a Patreon as we're recording.
To be fair, we were like pretty close to getting it together, and then
the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic attacked. Eventually, like, we could probably still set it up, but I feel like we wouldn't be able to have enough behind-the-scene content as we would have beforehand.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to plan out going out to places now when it's terrible out there.
That's true. I guess we could be wearing masks and I could add subtitles to the videos. Make more work for myself.
I prefer if you don't make too much work for yourself. I don't do anything in this podcast. I just look up random Wikipedia articles and I'm like, that's good enough. So.
You are the face.
No.
You give this podcast the best laugh.
That's all I'm here for. I'm just here to laugh and to be laughed at.
I'm laughing with you.
Of course.
Thank you. Do you have any parting words of advice, dear friend?
Never take off your shoes.
Never take off your shoes.
That's how they'll find you if you go missing. Gotta keep your shoes on.
Someone tries to take you, scream.
Yeah, scream.
I don't care if you've been taught to like be polite. You poke some eyes out.
Hell yeah.
Do it.
Get those tiny hands and stab.
Yeah. Also, like, using your, like, the base of your palm, go for the nose. It does not take that much pressure to break it.
Ooh. Interesting.
So if you do that, and then you can go for the eyes. If you have mace on you, use the mace. While they're down, kick them a few times. Make sure they're down, and then you can run and get up. And
see,
I thought about this.
I usually just go for the kidneys if I would. Not that I've done it. I'm saying I would, if I were in this situation, I would go for the kidneys because I am short. I do not want to give that height advantage of them like trying to like grab my hand as I try to hit their face. Just go for what's close to me.
Yeah, just like use your little leggies.
Yeah, just punch them in the kidneys or elbow them or something.
Also, if you're walking out to your car late at night and you see something like on your window, do not grab it. Just get in your cart and go.
Exactly. Like even if it's like on like the mirror or windshield, anything, just get in your car.
Don't grab it.
Leave, and then was it like? Just
if someone's like parked right on like the driver's side, making it so you have to like, if they're like.
If they are on the driver's side where you would have to like be in between the two cars.
Yeah. Go to the other side and climb through and go that way. You will never see me get kidnapped. If you do, probably assume I'm dead.
I would know that if you were to get kidnapped, you would have went kicking and screaming.
Thank you.
I would not put any money on that person. I'd be like, oof. They are out. And now Kate's in hiding. I definitely believe that. I think that you'd be like, now I have to go into hiding because I don't have enough proof that they were trying to kidnap me. They like barely touched me and now they're out.
I'm just saying, if any kidnappers listening, do not try.
Do not try it.
Don't try.
No. I've got the power of J-Hope with me.
Yeah.
J-Hope's always watching me.
2 hours later, we will acknowledge him. Here he is.
He's always watching over me.
He lives in the living room.
He protects his home.
He does. He protects the dining table.
This is a J home for our J-Hope. Did I mention on the podcast how there was a fire a couple months ago? And me and my mom were discussing what we would grab if like we needed to be evacuated. And the only three things that I would grab was my pets, my dog, my cat, and J-Hope. Those are the only things I would grab because everything else can be replaced.
Here's the problem again, is I remember you saying that, but I don't remember if I cut it out or left it in.
Oh, well. In case it's in another episode, I'm reiterating. My dog, my cat, and my J-Hope. Those are the only three things that matter that I would grab. And I'm like, I can buy albums again. It's fine. But J-Hope is forever.
J-Hope's
That's my parting word here. Is J-Hope is forever.
We'll talk to you guys later. See y'all on the flip side.
Bye.
Deedly.
Made too much eye contact with myself.
With yourself.